All right. I wanted to go over the Lolo stuff really quickly. Um, God, what? Sorry, I'm like looking at this fucking his alt Twitter was insane. Why did he post this? Okay, let me open all these. Where is it? I'm trying to find the original like allegations about Lolo's behavior because there was one Twitter page that was initially opening the story up on this. And I'm trying to find it. I think this was the page that I saw. Hannah Katana. This was the initial page that I saw that I think it's this. I think it was this post. No, it wasn't this one. Oh, maybe it got deleted. Oh, it might have been deleted. Okay. Well, there was a Twitter page that was initially highlighting this story. And a lot of people came out and started talking about how they've had negative experiences with Lolo, that he's harassed people, that he sent unsolicited dick pics, that he's made workplaces unsafe for people. Yeah. And then let me see this. Other people saying this. So happy to finally see Lolo overruled, outed as a piece of shit. He literally was angry and blocked me when I refused to have sex with him. Literally messaged me, I always get what I want. This man is a true pest. And there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people who came out and spoke about this stuff. I'm seeing if I can find. Wish I could find the original one. Is it this? Maybe it's this one. I know a lot of people have probably been privating their pages because of the harassment or whatever. Girls are saying Lola Overruled is a sex pest and a serial abuser. White cis men are fucking trash. And highlighted some stories, which again are a lot of these pages that initially were talking about their statements and their experiences have had to private their pages. This one person said, unfortunately, I've seen video evidence of him being a sex pest. He sent a video of himself jacking off in the bath to a sex worker friend that he was DMing on Twitter, which is like such a common meme that it's crazy that it still happens. Like, oh, this sex worker that I'm speaking to who's being friendly with me, I should just start sending them videos of me jerking off. Yeah. Well, they do sex work. I'm sure they like that every single man they ever speak to wants to have sex with them and constantly sexualizes them even in private and never ever wants to have a friendship with them that is not sexual. I'm sure that they would love this. It's like, okay. That tracks. He's apparently a lawyer for a group that covered up sex pests and threatened those who came forward. The woman cop jacketed me for them. Continues to organize with the guy, male leftists and their enablers, cool shit. This was a post that I saw that included some receipts.
If it's related to
Sorry.
Alex Lolo, then that's not drama. I mean, this dude apparently was all up and down being a pest. It's completely unacceptable.
I have a platform and I acknowledge that. So I'm coming forward today to back up all the women sharing their allegations about Alex LOLO, because I also had a very strange interaction with him that made me uncomfortable. Well, my interaction isn't even half as bad as some of the horrific things they're saying. I fully believe, based off of the weirdness of it, that he's capable of doing this other stuff. If you haven't already heard, this man right here, Alex Peter, goes by LOL or LO Overruled, has gone into hiding today because women across the internet are coming forward with stories about their interactions with him. The allegations range from a number of things, like trying to take advantage of SWs or just straight up threatening women. The biggest part is the quantity and the fact that they all show the same things. He's very quick to anger, get defensive, he's very entitled, and he's trying to take advantage of women. And yeah, I was also scared of upsetting a very beloved man with a huge platform because we've seen what they can do when they get angry and start lying. Anyways, here's what happened with me. He's very large, obviously. I followed him and Hassan for a while. I really looked up to them. I was pretty excited when he followed me back. And he even went to my Instagram and
really quickly
followed me back. And as you can see, like, I have a lot of friends that are friends with him. We work in the same industry. This is a very awkward situation that happened. And then sometime later, even though he's 34 years old, he did the high school boy thing where he went through and liked a couple photos of me in a bikini and then said nothing. And I noticed it, but I ignored it. I was like, maybe he's just being supportive, okay? Then one day I wake up, my alarm goes off at 11:30 every day because I'm up until like 5 a.m. working on stuff or whatever. And I see that he has messaged me earlier around 9 a.m. saying, do I have to DM slide? Is that how I hit on you? And I'm like screaming, I don't know what to do. I call up one of my friends who knows him and I'm like, I don't know how to respond. Like, how do I not make this awkward, not make him feel embarrassed, right? Because we all are attending the same events and stuff. So if I have to run into him, like, what do I say? We're trying to conjure up a very polite response at this point, but it's too late. Only a few minutes have gone by, and he just goes, yeesh, sorry, LOL. Realistically, it's probably been like 5-6 minutes I'll give you since I read this message because I do other stuff on my phone before I open up IG. But also, sir, you sent that message around 9 a.m. You've been sitting here checking constantly for hours to see if I've read the message. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that. Sorry. And he goes, my bad. Have a great day. And then he unliked all the photos that he had liked. The whole interaction was weird.
Dude, this is so telling of a person's character. Maybe I'm just like boomer coded. First of all, I would never see someone liking my photos. I literally would not. I would never notice it. I literally would not notice it. Especially unliking. You're just spending energy and time doing some shit that I have not noticed at all, okay? I am playing games. Okay? You know what I will notice? You posting some crazy highlight reel on your page of like you owning some fucking losers in a game. Then I'm like, wait, kind of sexy. I'm not, there's no universe where I notice that, where I notice someone liking a photo and then unliking one. But then being like, do I have to DM slide? Is that how I hit on you? And then just like 2 or 3 hours later, responding this way,
Have gone if I've read the message.
Yeesh, sorry.
You know what?
Dude, like that is the creep move. That is the creep move. That if someone doesn't respond in a couple hours, yeesh, sorry. It's like, and so here was the problem. Wait, let me let her finish.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. Sorry. And he goes, my bad. Have a great day. And then he unliked all the photos that he had liked. The whole interaction was weird, uncomfy, and disappointing, especially from like an influencer whose friend group I've looked up to for so long. But that's not how you address and speak to women. And to get like weirdly worked up that I didn't immediately respond, I could have been like making breakfast. I guess maybe that's an admission that he kind of knew that this was strange for a 34-year-old.
If it's related to Alex Lolo, then that's not drama.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was weird. But anyways, basically just a lot of other people saying that like he just every single opportunity that he found, he would message people to solicit sex, which is like peak sex pest, and then sending unsolicited nudes and videos to people, which is like, and then he uploaded the most insane apology. I don't even know if it should be called an apology. He was sending nudes. I thought he was just being cringe in DMs. Yeah, apparently he was sending unsolicited nudes and unsolicited videos. And just like using his platform and his audience to solicit sex with as many people as possible, and then would respond negatively.
Happy Friday, chat.
When told no. Isn't he a lawyer? Some people came out and said that he told them, like, no one will believe you if you come out, which is crazy, which is insane. Which is crazy. Being cringe in DMs is one thing, but the nudes part is wild. Well, I think a lot of people, when they saw the Lolo story and when it dropped, they weren't sure what to be upset about or whether or not to be upset. Because they were like, wait, what was he doing? Was he just like sending a DM? Was he just like hitting on one person or a few people or whatever? But it's like, there's a very different person. And like, this is the biggest problem with trying to get like solidarity, especially solidarity from white cis men. The problem is that when you're a normal person, you can't fathom someone being insane. So with that, like almost against your will, you will empathize if you think the person that's being targeted is like you. And so a lot of people will see, again, especially people who relate at all to any of this, will see like, oh, well, Lolo is getting accused of like sending a DM or two to some women where he was like kind of pushy. Like what's wrong? Or like he was like hitting on them. Like what's wrong with that? Like, I don't understand. The problem is, when you've encountered people like Lolo, you can spot it a mile away. And it's very different from just one person sending one message and one person with like 900K followers on TikTok, friends of Hassan, has an audience, has some credibility, just sending messages to literally every single woman that he ever encounters and sending explicit things to every single woman he encounters. Like, they're not people that he's hitting on. They're objects. It's, oh, well, these are all of my like groupies. I'm going to send 1 million messages to all of them. And it's like, so what? You're like abusing your power dynamic to hit on as many women as you can, as many times as you can, and like not seeing any of these people as people. And you're not actually interested in any of these people. You're just interested in like how they can make you feel good about yourself. Like there's a very different vibe from someone who's hit on 1 or 2 women and someone who operates the way that like Patrick Bateman operates, where it's just, there is no interest in that person. It's just ego and gratification via as many people, as many women as you can get. Right. And that's why people call that rightfully like sex pest behavior. 0 out of 10 bait, dog shit, garbage, not good, try again. Thank you for explaining. I've never come across this before. I mean, at the risk of making a misogynistic comment, I will try and create this analogy to the best of my ability. But like, have you guys ever had male friends that have been in abusive relationships or been a man in an abusive relationship with a woman who has had a track record of abusing men? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with a woman being like, oh, you should pay for the date. There's nothing wrong with that inherently. That's not abusive or financially abusive in any way. But it's like, you know it when you see it, the type of person that like will financially abuse men and has financially abused all of the men in their life. Because I've seen that, and you know it when you see it. There's nothing wrong with one woman saying, oh, I don't pay for the first date or whatever. I don't understand that, but whatever, I don't care. There is something wrong with like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. You've been friends with this woman. Sorry, you've been dating this woman for 2 months and you're getting married. And just to get this, let me just get this straight really quickly. You agree that she doesn't get along with any of your friends, and she consistently tells you to stop hanging out with all of your friends and only hang out with her. And she's demanding all of your energy, time, and also demanding she gets whatever she wants because she needs that new car, and she needs the nicer apartment, and she needs all these other things. And she needs you to spend $100K on that wedding. Dude, like, do you see what's happening, or do you need someone to like hit you over the head with a frying pan? Because I have multiple frying pans. I have many frying pans. Pick one. And so like, there's nothing wrong with a woman being like, oh, I want to have a nice wedding. That's not inherently wrong. That's not inherently evil or abusive, right? Just like there's nothing wrong with like a dude sliding into a chick's DMs. But it's about whether or not the abuser in question sees the people that they interact with as people, or whether they see them as tools and objects for their personal gratification. And with like male sex pests, you know it when you see it. You know the difference between the type of dude that just like has hit on a couple of women and the type of dude that like literally every single woman that he can get in contact with, where he knows that there's a power dynamic, where he knows they're like, literally it's like the implication joke in Always Sunny. They see them only as objects for their personal gratification. And it's like, and the problem is when you stop seeing people as people, you start treating those people worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, which is what some of the women have described with Lolo, where they turned him down and then he acted like a child, or he sexually harassed them and he threatened them and said, well, no one's going to believe you anyways. It's like, huh? Is it too far to call it electronic sexual assault? I mean, I'm not going to try and put like a label on it or a name on it. I'm just going to call it what it is, which is like a sex pest, right? It's just sex pest behavior. Someone said he sent a DM saying, I always get what I want after rejecting him. Is crazy. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, see Paul Allen's card. Let's see what Lolo has to say. And like, I don't know what compelled him to post something so stupid. Like genuinely, I'm actually in awe at how stupid this was. Like, I have no words, but I'll read it with you guys. He said, this is not my full apology and it isn't meant to be. I still need some time to figure out how to do that and what that looks like. This is now deleted, by the way. Okay, good start. There's a lot being said about my behavior. I am absolutely embarrassed and ashamed of myself in many instances and have been a real asshole. I don't deny any of that. I know many people are disappointed and I'm disappointed in myself. I have hurt people emotionally and I regret it immensely. Okay, I do want to clarify some things. I have slid into a lot of people's DMs. I didn't really think of it as a huge deal, but it's clear I didn't fully grasp how some people could feel about that, or even think I was some kind of famous person, which I have honestly never felt about myself and always felt like a random internet side character. And so like, this is where things start getting rocky, because he had an alt Twitter account where he posted a bunch of crazy shit that I guess he thought would never see the light of day. The thing is like alt Twitter should be used for not spamming your main Twitter, not for posting you being fucking insane. And the problem with him making this statement is that it's easily debunkable by other statements that he said. So he's claiming here, well, I didn't know that there was a power dynamic because I didn't see myself that way. So I can see how other people could have felt that way, but that's my bad. I wasn't aware of it, and I wasn't actively taking advantage of the power dynamic, which would be a fair defense or a reasonable defense, if not for, I'm trying to find it. No, wait, it's here. If not for this tweet where he says, sort of surprised I don't have a Wikipedia page at this point. Is that self-involved to think that? Am I delusional? Bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Oh, like, I'm really not like a famous person, and I've never seen myself as like a famous person ever. There's no way that I would be abusing this privilege of being an online content creator because I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that that was happening. Meanwhile, tweeting about how I feel like I should have a Wikipedia page. I feel like I should have a Wikipedia page. Okay, and then he continues. No, I did not send photos unsolicited. It may have been the case in some instances that I genuinely misread the conversation we were having, but no, I did not randomly send something. Okay, let me just say something really quickly. I'm going to give you guys life advice that you will never, ever, ever, ever disagree with, okay? And if you disagree with it, you're wrong. Don't send dick pics to anyone ever unless you're already dating. If you're already dating, don't do that. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. Like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Okay? If you're married to someone, it's probably fine. It's probably safe at that point. It's probably okay. But like someone you've rarely spoken to, someone who's not seen you naked, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. No dick pics before marriage. Just don't do it. Just don't. Just don't. I personally think that you should not do it. All right? Leave room for Jesus. Because like if there's any question about whether or not like you read the room correctly, you probably did and you probably shouldn't, and it's probably not worth the risk of having sent it to the wrong person at the wrong time. If someone is explicitly saying, please send me your penis, please send it to me now, please, I would like you to send it to me now, please take a picture and send it to me right now, then it's probably safe, then it's probably fine. But really, like outside of that, you just shouldn't. You shouldn't. Just don't do it. Just like really don't. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't. Oh my God, dude. Anywho, so he continues. You also don't have to if someone asks. I mean, I personally think IMO, if someone asks, you should just hit them with you'll see it in person. Personally, that's what I think. I also that's like living on the edge. It's like, I just don't, I don't know. I don't understand. Anyways, moving on. Is that Riz? It's a little bit of Riz. It's like mild Riz. I also don't get the urge. I don't know. I don't get the unsolicited people. Like that, I don't get it. It's like, why? It's so weird. Like, does it bring you joy to be rejected so many times? Like, that makes no sense. Like, what is like, what? I don't even understand. This doesn't make sense. Just don't get it. All right. Okay, moving on. He continues. It's gotta be like a flasher type. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. No, I have not threatened anyone. I saw something to the effect of that being said. And then this is where it gets bad. This is where like the apology goes totally downhill. I do believe some of what's being said is genuinely libel and defamation. I am not, however, interested in arguing with people or suing or anything like that. Dude, you're a lawyer and you're gonna like sneak this in. You're gonna slide this in, just like the casual threat of like, just so you know, what you're doing is libel and defamation. I'm a good guy, so I would never pursue that though. Like I would never, but just so you know. And like, even if that wasn't his intent, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, what is happening? You had enough time to write that. You didn't have to post this immediately. It's also entirely possible that there were miscommunications and conversations misread, but I take full responsibility for making people uncomfortable. Again, this is not meant to be an exhaustive apology. It really isn't. I'm sorry to the people I've hurt or made uncomfortable emotionally. It doesn't matter to some people. I know it doesn't matter to some of you now, but I'm glad stuff like this is being talked about in a way it's forcing me to actually look at myself in the mirror and do something about it. I'm going to be pretty offline for a bit / doing an intensive outpatient program. Translation, he's going to go start working out and get a dog. I don't know what will happen next. I may never come back to the internet in the same capacity. I don't know. I want to do better. I genuinely want to make amends to the people I've negatively impacted. I hope some people will give me the opportunity to do that. I did not expect it at all. I do not expect it at all, but I am always available to listen and talk to anyone that wants that. I don't want to be that piece of shit guy I have been. I think the way that I've acted has not been in line with my character and doesn't reflect the type of man I want to be. I'm seeking help to better myself. I'm sorry it took so long. Accountability is a weird thing. You can only really take accountability for yourself. If you want to pretend something isn't a problem, you can try and weather any storm that comes and pretend it isn't real. I don't want to be that way. In the very least, I would like to show what accountability can look like. Really cannot express how sorry I am to all. Instead of therapy once a week, he's going twice. Yeah, I see him doing a right-wing grift. No, I don't think he's going to do a right-wing grift. I think there's a 0% chance. It's just like, that was so bad. That was so bad. And like, the problem is, basically what people are accusing him of is being like self-righteous, being an asshole, being full of himself, and thinking that he can like get away with pretty gross behavior and do as much of it as he wants because people will not believe them, which works less when he's on his Twitter posting crazy egotistical shit like this. Like, you could not make posts sound more narcissistic. This is his Twitter account. This is his alt Twitter account. I got to a point where I was fucking so many people from behind in my bed. I had an out-of-body experience. I directly connected with Leonardo DiCaprio wearing his sound-canceling headphones as he bangs, and I finally understood, perpetually alone, Peter Pan, never grow up. Fucking one of the hottest women you've ever seen and feeling nothing. Why are you tweeting this? Do you remember what I said? Remember what I said where I was like, the problem is not hitting on women, hitting on one woman, two women, three. That's not the problem. The problem is when you just see them as objects, when you just see the people around you as objects and tools for you to abuse, to get, like, they are vending machines, and you can, as long as you can get what you want, if that means you put a coin in, if that means you break the glass, if that means you shake the container, as long as you get what you want, who cares what happens to the object? It's just an object. And then you're just using your audience and your power in the space to just do that as many times as you want to as many people as you want. You're just a piece of shit at that point. It's some Patrick Bateman shit. I mean, yeah. That is one of the most horrifying sentences I've seen in a while. Yeah. This is like crazy narcissism behavior, by the way. A crazy narcissism behavior. That's like, so yeah. Unfortunately, the Lolo is over, train is here. Yeah. Wait, why didn't anyone notice this type of speech before? Honest question. I don't follow him. I don't follow much about him, so it's kind of wild. Well, I didn't follow him at all, really. I only know him from that, like, Shrek video. That's, like, literally the only thing I know him from. And that was his alt Twitter, which is, like, private. He only had, like, a couple people following that account. And for a lot of other people who, like, I mean, it's, part of it is, think about the people who were still defending Dr. Disrespect up until the point where Dr. Disrespect said that he was in fact soliciting sex from, or sorry, inappropriately speaking to minors. Excuse me. He said that he was inappropriately speaking to minors. Think about those people. Think about those people that were like, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's never done anything wrong. He's innocent. I don't care how many journalists report on this, he's innocent. And then like, when it took him admitting it for them to be like, okay, well, maybe he's not innocent. And some people still believe him. So some people still stand, or not believe him. Some people are still like, well, I respect him for owning up to it. I respect him for that. It's like, have you seen his TikTok that got deleted where he complained about how people set him up on dates with people less attractive than he wants? No, I have not seen that. If you have it, please send it. That's so gross. That's crazy. Guys, honestly, I'm kind of grateful that I'm the person that I am online because I just don't get these people in my mentions or in my DMs. Because they know that I would clock their shit immediately and post it everywhere. But the second I felt like any bad vibes at all, I'd be like, so just as a quick question, how many other people have you done this to? So I like have this immunity where I'm like safe because I will not. No, I think if you're a piece of, I think if you're a cool person, I will highlight you and shout you out and, you know, give as much positive reinforcement as I can. But I think if you're a piece of shit, I will call your behavior out because like, that's disgusting. But anyways, anywho, God, dude, anyways. So yeah, that is the Lolo news. Sorry to have broke it to anyone. Sorry to be the one to have, oh no. I
hate to say this, but not one time in my life has someone said to me, let me set you up with this person, and that person was attractive. I'm really sorry. Not a single time. Maybe that says more about me. You know, it's like, I don't think of myself as a shallow person. Have I been shallow yet?
Oh my God. The craziest part is like saying this is like an average looking white dude is crazy. Like that's these are inside thoughts. Why are you sharing this online? Oh my God. I tapped out of my Marvel Rivals team to say, what the fuck, dude? I can't comment on attractiveness of men because I'm just like brain broken. I'm twink brained as fuck. So I can't. I don't even know. Oh, thanks, Henny Jules. I don't know why this TTS isn't playing. All right. Thanks for giving me a new perspective on a lot of issues. You helped me open up my eyes. Have a good day. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so twink brained. And I am like actually so 2D brained. Way too many 2D crushes. Disgusting amount of 2D crushes. So like I'm like do not. I grew up on Bleach. Okay, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Like just and also like I have how do I describe this? I know how to describe it. A lot of people have been commenting on I don't agree with your take about dick pics as far as needing to have seen them naked because of my experience on Grindr. Okay, well that's okay, sorry. Except Grindr. Okay? I'm sorry. The gay men that I know have been on Grindr. It's like you send one you're like, "Hi," and they're like, "So, what's your age, sex, location? Are you ready to meet in 15 minutes? I'm ready to suck and fuck." And it's like, "Okay. Damn, I was just trying to go on a date first." So like that's different. Grindr is different. Grindr is like so horny. I haven't been on it cuz I'm a woman, so it doesn't make any sense for me to be on Grindr, but I've had friends who've been on Grindr and that shit is like if you're on Grindr, the consent is implied, okay? That's or the moment you fucking install the app and make a profile. Like, I'm pretty sure it's in the terms and conditions somewhere there that's like, you will be receiving lots of pictures of penises. Terms and conditions say you accept. So, like, that's not, okay, that's different. We were not talking about Grindr. We were not talking about Grindr, okay? That was not, no. That's a different beast. That is a different beast, okay? Okay. That's so great. Dude, I love the queer community, man. I had a boss who would get picked up by his Grindr meetups while on the clock. That's crazy. It's so crazy. It's also really funny, but it is definitely crazy, okay? Oh my God. All right. Moving on. So I think I'm just the wrong person to talk to also about attractiveness because I feel like anyone can be attractive. And I think most people are attractive. It's just the people that I don't personally find attractive are just not for me, right? Like, but I think anyone, like, if I like them as a person, I would find them attractive, right? And there are a lot of things that, like, I don't know, qualities aren't immutable. So, like, things that I think are unattractive, right? Having, like, really, like, dry, flaky skin. But, like, girl, you just need a moisturizer. Just you haven't had someone tell you in your life, girl, your skin is so dry. Just use moisturizer. You just need a more powerful moisturizer, right? That's like super fixable. That's just like, you just don't know that you're suffering and your skin probably hates you and you probably hate your skin and you're probably like uncomfortable all the time and irritated. That's it. You're just struggling. You're just struggling. That's it. What's your opinion on people who are into feet? I mean, like, you're not hurting anyone, I guess. It's fine. Moving on. Lolo jump scare. Let's get back to this.
I hate to say this, but
and then after this, we're going to talk about Mike.
Not one time in my life has someone said to me, let me set you up with this person, and that person was attractive. I'm really sorry. Not a single time. That says more about me. You know, it's like, I don't think of myself as a shallow person. Have I been shallow? Yeah, I've been shallow. But I just think for dating purposes, not even for dating purposes, I'll go out on a date with anybody. I'll go out on a date with any person. This is making me look like such a fucking prick. But it's me. I'm making myself look like a prick. Whatever, you guys act like you don't fucking have high standards. You're allowed to have high standards. Who cares? I'm not worried about it. Like, I don't need anybody to set me up with anyone. That's not what I need. I just need you to stop insulting me is what.
And then, like, as if he needed another nail in the coffin. He already has like 100, but like, this post has been deleted. I'll be honest, I will lie at any time about anything if it is advantageous to me personally at 2:13 p.m. on Twitter on the 17th of October in 2024. Okay, like, dog, yeah. I saw Ole had a good response and I saw Caroline had a good response. But I want to say just really quickly, it is actually like really kind of quite sad how people weren't interested at all in hearing about it until Hassan disavowed it. And it's like, Caroline's perfect response, parasocialist. I mean, parasocialist is a great response. Because I understand, I think that there were a lot of people that reasonably wanted to know what Hassan had to say as someone who was friends with him, that was already siding with the victims, but was like, I want to know what the person who like I think was good friends with him had to say about this, if he had known about it or not known about it, if he had seen any warning signs or like how long ago he heard about this or whatever, right? Because I was curious about that. I was like, I mean, this guy seems like, after I saw Lolo's tweets, I was like, this guy is a sex pest. This guy, you only tweet like the most narcissistic, crazy shit like this if you are a sex pest. That's the only universe. Like, you don't talk like this and act this way unless you are that. So I was curious if there was any insight about it that like maybe he had, but there were people definitely who were like, well, I might wait until, I see if this person says anything and then I'll decide. It's like, what? What the fuck? That's weird. I think there were people who actively took on a role to defend Lolo when the allegations came out. When Hassan spoke about it, and confirmed it. They switched it up. Yeah. I wanted verification. I saw Lolo's apologies and tweets. FML. Nope. Yeah, because I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I saw like, the other thing too is when there's enough people, this is just a litmus test. Once there's like 6 or 7 people that all had the same story, there's a good chance that it's real, because it's too hard to organize that many people to all come out in the same way. If you have 7 people all calling you a sex pest, there's a good chance that person is. And so I'm like, well, I want to see, what else happens. Like, I want to see what he says about this, because I don't know how he's going to defend this statement. Like, I don't know. And then his apology was like totally shit. And he was like, this is libel and defamation. Why did he put that in there? And then his previous tweets being like, posting like Andrew fucking Bateman. Or sorry, Patrick Bateman. Sorry, Patrick Bateman, I think. Like, what are we doing here? Like, dude, stop. Oh my God. This is solo effort, dude. Can't you come up with anything that's like worthwhile anymore? Well, there's a whole lot of people who call Hassan sex pest. Does that make him one? I'm sorry. Are there women actively coming out with allegations against him? Because I've seen a lot of people like Ethan Klein calling him one. I mean, I've said it since day one. I'm going to believe the women that talk about their personal experiences. This is why that one clip that Ethan used was so fucking ridiculous for him to say that she was, quote, continually raped for 50 days in captivity, when like she says she witnessed somebody else after having changed her story completely from a few months ago. It's like, what, you believe women means believe them when they speak out about their experience, not when they speak out on televised media after having a different story and then say that other people said that they were, and so they're listening to them, even though they claimed the complete opposite beforehand. That's very different. So anywho, moving on. Cutie said that he's obsessed with her. What's going on with Lolo? Okay, we just finished up the Lolo segment, but TLDR, he's a sex pest. But I did want to bring this up really quickly before we finish this up. Yeah, steel lungs, that's the direction I wanted to go in. Twitch finally deciding to do something about the bot problem on Twitch, which I'm sure you guys saw a lot of people covering this stuff as well. They basically said, quick update on view counts. We have teams and tech dedicated to ensuring that the views that show up on channels reflect actual viewership, aren't artificially inflated in any way.
Chat DNM, hey.
Ultimately, metrics on Twitch should represent the real and growing communities that show up and participate on channels. So we regularly update detection tools and methods. Recently made changes that meaningfully improved our ability to identify view bots and authentic viewership and other potentially fake engagement. These changes will roll out over the next few weeks. If your channel was viewbotted or some of your viewers are artificial or inflated, you'll see an impact to your channel's view count. Also means third-party sites that publish unverified Twitch view counts are going to see changes to that data over time. We recognize that viewbotting can be out of the streamer's control. In making these changes, our goal is to improve the experiences for both streamers and viewers. And the crazy thing is, like, viewbotting has always felt like wall hacking in video games or like aimbotting in video games. It's like you didn't even earn it. Why? I guess I can understand the type of people who do sponsored streams. Couldn't be me. We never do sponsored streams. Who do sponsored streams and people never tune into sponsored streams. So you viewbot during those streams so that like you can make more money off of this corpo. I guess I can understand that mentality. I can understand how someone could come about that conclusion. But there are people, and this has been like a known secret. It's been a known thing in the Twitch community that there are a lot of streamers that viewbot. A lot. A concerning amount. And it's like, again, my stance has always been, this is like wall hacking. You didn't even earn it. And then you get like permanent like mental illness because if you don't viewbot, then views are down. That feels like shit, dude. Oh my God. Why would you ever want to do that to yourself? Why would you set yourself up for like this high view count because you're constantly botting? And then when you don't bot, you have no viewership. Like, why would you want to do that? Anywho, yeah, they do it to get their name up in the rankings so they can get organic viewership. Ben Shapiro and others started off with huge body views. Well, yeah, but like, first of all, the Daily Wire people were pretty smart about over promoting the stuff on Facebook and on YouTube, where they could get as many boomers to find out about them. The problem on Twitch is like, you don't have that same type of reach, and the content isn't necessarily content that a lot of these people would even watch. And also, a lot of the people that are viewbotting are just viewbotting because, well, I don't want to comment on intent, but it feels like a lot of the people that botted or have been botting do it because they want to feel like they can actually get 10, 20, 30K viewers, which is so crazy. I just don't understand. My main issue with viewbotting as a viewer has been people getting targeted attacks with viewbots or follow bots in order to get accounts flagged they don't like. Well, yeah, and that's been Twitch's policy on like saying that we don't want to target people that might be botting or that we think have botted viewers because it's possible somebody else is botting on their behalf, or like not on their behalf. They're botting the channel to get them banned. But it also doesn't make sense because there was like that clip of Ray saying that he was viewbotting and he didn't get banned. It's like, what? Literally the only way that you get banned for botting on Twitch is like if you have the program website open and that's it. But like, yeah, I don't. That's what kicked off the whole thing, isn't it? I don't know. Laura Loomer has to be botting. No way she's getting 20K. I wouldn't be surprised if Laura Loomer was botting. Vextra Life did it openly for a while. Well, like he was botting, but he was like, it wasn't he was embedding, which is technically allowed or was allowed under Twitch policy. Like that didn't count as botting, that just counted as embedding. We all called it botting because effectively it was botting, but it wasn't the same as actual botting. And then Twitch was like, actually, we don't want this either. He was embed abusing. Yeah. They just removed the embedding loophole. But yeah. Anywho, I'm very excited to see how things play out after this. Okay. Very excited to see how things play out after this. See if people keep their viewerships. I got my eye on a couple streamers. That I have been told they bot. I've been told. So the problem is, it used to be the case that like chat speed was a good metric to use on like whether or not someone was botting. But I believe bots nowadays can chat as well. The best metric is like honestly sub count. If a streamer has like a way lower sub count than their viewership, dude, I love the people being like, Hassan. It's like, your marbles are gone, dude. Your marbles are so gone. Like I said, the best way to know if a streamer bots or not is like, look at their sub count. If their sub count is public, look at their sub count. But anywho. Also, there's some streamers that have 4 to 5K viewers during games and their chat is relatively slow until something crazy happens. So chat speed doesn't necessarily matter either. Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. Like my chat speed is like way faster than like a lot of gaming streamers who have larger audiences than me or larger communities than me. But that's because like people don't really chat in gaming chats because there's just not that much to chat about, right? And it's not like the streamer can read your messages when they're in the middle of like a game, right? But when you do like this type of stream where you're doing reacts or whatever, your chat's going to be faster. It's going to be faster because more people feel like their messages will be read. Daff is someone with decent view count but slow chat 90% of the time. Yeah. I mean, people don't want to chat in a chat room where they feel like their messages won't be read. And people are more likely to chat in a chat room where they feel like their messages will be read. So politics especially, like they have strong opinions and they want to share their opinions. So political channels have almost like an inflated chatter to lurker ratio.